Alright, you guys want to know about car audio processing. Here you go. I tried to draw it up as best as possible. I'm going to try to explain it as best as possible. Alright, now you got your radio right there. You got your outputs, of course, going to the line in on the EQ. Okay, that's going to start processing right there. That boosts up that voltage already. Now, the output from the EQ goes to the input of the crossover. So then when you go from your input to your crossover, you got your equalizer processed. Now when you get your equalizer processed, you can move on to the crossover. When you move into the crossover, you do the same thing you did here. You go from your out to your in, and then you come in from your out to your in again to your amp. Sorry. So when you come in here from your amp, you're gonna have a bass remote if you got a bass remote, but other than that, that's the basic processing right there. I mean, I'm trying to get it in there as best as possible. This is how I hook up my stereos for best performance, and you can go ahead and read the paragraph that's down there and look at it, the diagram. That's how I hook up my stereos. But right here, I usually have another processor like a bass Epic Center or another line driver or something after this to go to my amp again. So then I'm processing it 1, 2, and then if I got another one, 3 already. That's processed 3 times. So that boosts up your line and activates your lines. All these lines become active versus you just going from your sub out to the input of your amp. You put these components in here, it's going to make sure that it's nice and processed and clean. Now you can distort these by adjusting your line. Yeah, you can clip, but you're going to be better clipping this way than you are just this way, because if you're clipping this way from your sub out to your input of your amp, you're risking on frying your amp because this line ain't active. You understand me? So with you putting these in here powers up these RCAs for this amp to sustain its power. That's where voltage drop comes in at. So read this diagram and try it. I mean, try one component at a time, and that's all I could, basically tell you is just try one component at a time, or try two, try an EQ or a crossover, or a EQ in the line driver, or something like that, because this really helps. You know what I mean? This is just to your deck, to your amp. This don't even include your power side and all the other goodies that you could put on this thing. But this is how you, and if you have multiple amps, you have 3 outputs or 2 outputs on some of these radios. So if you got 2 out or 3 outputs from here and you got 1 here, you can use a Y adapter on this adjustable line in. Now you got 2 lines, your left and your right. See what I'm saying? That's active. But just to activate the sub side right now, you go this simple and don't even worry about the other amps until you get this concept. Once you get this concept, you'll be able to hook up any amp process. Alright? I just want to explain that to you because this is how I do my stereo and stave my amps and get best line signal quality as possible. So you can take it and run, or you can just ignore it. I mean, I would do it because I do, and my music is loud every time I do this, and I never have to worry about my amps blowing up or anything like that, sacrificing my power because I'm just going from this sub out to this input. That just ain't sacrificable to me. I don't like doing that on none of my car audio installs. So I'll usually, if I don't have this, I'll usually just go from the deck to the EQ to the amp, because this EQ right here will keep this amp nice and happy too if you got batteries on this side of the amp. That'll keep it nice and happy. But this right here will keep it extremely happy. These crossovers and the EQ, your amp will stay so much cooler. Yep. So I just wanted to let you know that, and here's the steps. Step 1, step 2, and step 3. Okay, so that's as easy as I can put it. Alright, so once again, this is the basis of car audio processing part 1, and I'll be to show you a diagram of the actual install